Hold on a second. Kinu isn't that good. She just got lucky.
Bruh.
And got some kills. And even to be fair, Unicorn did all the damage. So let's skip right to the guide. What a disappointing intro, making Kinu look good by stealing Unicorn's work. Just look at her, such a cute design. And I'm drifting up again. I don't wanna go to jail again, so there is no need to send the FBI after me, Zergo. But let's not talk about me and my addiction. Let's go over Kinu's history. Kinu is a Japanese light cruiser of the Nagara class and was named after a river in the Tochigi prefecture. She was built before World War II and was the further development of the Kuma class. She was delayed a little since the Japanese designed some new fancy torpedoes that loved sinking destroyers. Before World War II, she helped with the landing of Japanese troops in China, and this is the point where things get hard. Since Japan had the great idea fighting against the Americans, and we all know how this ends. But Kinu didn't care about the Americans, she simply remained the support ship and assist other ships. She didn't really have much action, but that changed after she got assigned to the Takia 1st Raiding Force. She had incredible luck. Torpedoes were coming her way from the carriers Essex and Lexington, and got only structural damage, and sadly some crewmen were killed. One day later she got attacked by a different CV, and well, she sunk. Her luck couldn't go on forever. Most of the crew was rescued, and that's it. What a boring history. Well, I just read over it. Maybe there was more, but let's finally talk about her in Azur Lane. She is a light cruiser from the Nippon nation. Her rarity type is elite, but since nowadays we have so many retrofits, she gets it too, which turn her from elite to super rare. This channel slowly becomes a retrofit only one. But anyway, you simply can get the retrofit by reaching level 100 and give some special parts here and there. And there was something else that I wanted to say. She is only obtainable in a special event either by gacha or exchange. Sonic is again a bully and makes event exclusive ships. But before you type something in the comments, let me say this. I don't do this guide since it's an event ship. I do because the goddamn art style looks sick. Just look at it, and the retrofit one looks even better. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. First on is her beautiful firepower. Okay, I was lying. Her firepower is with around 140 points, pretty much in the average, but this looks only so bad because we have like 20 retrofit on light cruisers, and they increase the firepower so much that they make look all the other cruisers weak. So don't judge a ship by its stats, since stats aren't the only part of the ship. Next on is her HP and evasion. Remember what I said like 5 seconds ago? Well, forget about it. Her HP is terrible. You got only around 2800 hit points, which is nothing. You would think that you get good evasion for that. Well, actually you do. Even 4th place, and with that pretty good. But that's not the point right now. You will really struggle later on and have a hard time. You really need to consider if you take this ship into late game. Other ships with low HP get a good trade, but anyway, you will need some high quality torpedo beats so she doesn't sink in the first 2 battles. Now we come to the part where things get spicy, and that is the torpedo stat. Kinu has one of the best torpedo stats at around 320 points. Pretty good, but nothing new for the Japanese Navy and her torps. Having such a high point stat, you can even compete with other destroyers. Let's just say that they are gunboat EDs. And remember kids, to equip the Nippon torps so you can deal maximum damage to everything that comes across you. Almost last we have her AA stat. Her AA is pretty okay for being Japanese, even coming close to the best ship ever made and constructed, Cleveland. But we not gonna talk about Cleveland and why we should all use her, but instead go back the Kinu, since this is her guide. And the last stat would be now the anti-submarine one. You have more than 100 points there, and to that a skill that increases that stat too. But since I hate submarines over everything, we not gonna talk much more about them. So with that, let's go over her perks. She has 3 perks in total with her retrofit. The first one is Demo Blade. At the beginning of the battle, it increases your firepower, AA, and anti-submarine warfare stat by 15%. To that, you decrease the damage your submarines take, while you are alive by 15% too. It's a nice perk. Increasing stats is always nice, and you get rewarded for using submarines too. Now you need to start using subs, so that skill is meh for me, since I hate submarines. Next on is her Retrofit skill, Demon's Wish. Simply said, it's a better version of Takeo's double torpedo skill. In addition to the 30% chance to launch a second set of torpedoes, you also get a 15% increase in torpedo damage. The damage you can deal is huge, since you have good torpedo stat to begin with, and let's not forget the one additional reload you get from the limit break. But for that damage, you will need some luck, since it is still RNG based. So just spend some money in Akash's shop, so RNG might favor you. Last we have her barrage. You get the standard Nagara class barrage. It is really handy, since more damage is always welcome. So with that I would suggest we go over her equipment now. First we would have the main battery gun. As for a light cruiser, you slap the triple 155mm gun on it. Alternately you can take the triple 152mm ones. If you lack the others, don't even think about taking AP guns on her, since AP guns on light cruisers is pretty rare, and often stupid. Next on we got the torps. For the national flavor you take the 610mm quadruple torpedoes, since they have great damage output, and to that it's historical accurate. Otherwise if you don't have them, you can take the 533mm quintuple ones. They have less damage, but for that one more torp. And for the lazy boys under you that play on auto, you get the German quadruple homing torps. Now we come to its AA. For that we slap on some twin 113mm guns, so we get the high damage, long range anti-air. UAA isn't that bad, so just hope that the damage will be high enough. If you don't have it, you can consider the quadruple 40mm Bofors, since they're not much worse, just a little shorter range and less damage, for exchange of DPS. Now the pleb part, the auxiliary equipment. For the first slot we put on some the oxygen torpedo to increase the damage of them, since we already have great damage output from them. On the second slot it's more a hard choice. I would suggest taking the improved hydraulic rudder. I know it's mostly better for heavy cruisers, but for that ships it's really nice, since you got already good evasion, and your HP is not so great to that. But if you lack the parts to build one, you can equip the repair toolkit, good alternative for the meantime. Well, looks like we finished here. Some final words for Kinu herself. She has a great design and some good skills, but that's rather it. Her HP is just too poor. When you get on higher level maps you just get oofed out of existence. So before we end this video, I just want to advertise my potato guild, so don't be skeptical and join. Until next time, your Potato Nick.